Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA?
Native 454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. So more trouble in Trekland and on the disco, the Panic at the Disco. They're reporting that the Klingons are going to look different in Season 2 of Discovery.
Yeah, this is just...
So the Uruk-hai of Season 1 are going to look they're going to look different in this one. What's going on?
I mean, you want to change them different. At least make them look like Klingon ships. Can we do that?
Can we at least have the Klingons look like
Yeah,
make
close.
them- But here's the thing. They're talking to the makeup designer here, and this is an article from comicbook.com and Jamie Lovett. This guy keeps popping up. Or it might be a girl, too. Jamie's a boy and a girl name. But we have quoting here, as we move on into Season 2, it has been a while since we have been with our characters. It has been a while since we have seen our Klingon friends.
Okay.
So everything keeps evolving. The story has evolved. And I can guarantee you this. You're going to be blown away that they have a completely new look yet again going into Season 2.
Why? Why is that a positive thing?
It's only been...
I mean,
it hasn't even been any time. It's been days.
It's been days. Here's the thing that's so funny about that. Okay, unless this is like genetic manipulation on their part, evolution doesn't happen that quickly. What would they just transform in like an hours? What is this?
And this is the guy who wrote this article on it. Obviously knows nothing about Trek because people have used this argument before, and you can tell they don't care. But they say right here, and this is Jamie Lovett saying this, among the most controversial decisions was changing the appearance of the Klingons, a fan-favorite alien species, even though the Klingons have undergone many visual redesigns throughout the franchise's history. They explained all that.
Yes.
There's no explanation here.
Yeah.
Yes, and you do have to take into account, guys, back in the original series, they didn't have the money for good makeup jobs.
Yeah.
But they took the time to explain it in the canon.
Exactly.
They haven't done that yet in Discovery. They don't explain why they look like effing monsters.
No.
And this, I brought this up, I think, in the past when we were talking about this. In Next Generation, they brought back Kahless. They got his DNA and brought him back, and he looked like the regular Klingons.
Yeah.
So if these Klingons in Discovery pray to Kahless, and he doesn't look like... It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Unless these new radical Klingons look like they did in Next Generation.
If they do, then now it solves so many problems. Maybe that was a different faction.
Exactly.
But they showed so many houses.
But they showed so many houses. They all look like they did in the
The
first
monster
season.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird.
Maybe. I don't know.
So here in they continue on the talking to the makeup designer guy again. In Season 2, we're going to see much different designs. You're going to see different houses you haven't seen before. One of the most important things to us is that at this point in canon, as we head towards the current version of unification, those houses really each grew up on different planets. It's an empire, not just Kronos. We have seen 6 of the great houses up close in Season 1. As we move forward into the next season, I promise you that we will continue exploring and unpacking and unfolding that infinitely interesting story of what Klingon culture looks like on a wider level. Like you said, it doesn't work that way.
No. First of all...
It takes millions of years for things to change that drastically.
Yeah,
Unless they're saying that they populated that planet 1 million years ago.
Well, when
why would it come so
Klingons, no, they
fast?
weren't. They didn't have even. They barely got. I think warp technology like in their time 300 years before.
Yeah,
that.
remember
It was
that video?
aliens.
You showed me that video with the timelines?
Yeah.
It wasn't all these like crazy different
No.
planets and everything. And
So
Because their first invaders were the Hurk.
Okay.
They invaded them. And then that's why they could see aliens as enemies, because they invaded them and took all their...
this will be on the test.
Yeah,
there is a
yeah.
lot of canon already there. And they're
Okay.
I mean, you watch it, it looks like real history.
Yeah.
When you actually look at it,
Yeah.
that's how much they have.
Okay, so as you're saying this, so they were attacked by aliens. That's why they don't like them. They got to warp technology, so they would only have 300 years for this evolution.
Yeah,
to
it didn't make any sense. And what happens when they go to a planet, they take it over, they kill off all the leaders if it's an alien world, and they have their own overseers. So between that, they all started changing. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
because they didn't have warp travel till that point.
Yeah.
And they were already the way they were. Oh my goodness. It's these people
You don't know
care.
what you're doing. These writers know what he's talking about. They don't know what they're
And
doing.
the
care.
only reason why they, like I said, they looked like human, they explained that by saying they were
They
trying...
augmented their DNA because they saw that the humans were strong.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe if we look like them, take some of their DNA, maybe we can have some of their strength too. Like an enemy type thing.
Yeah.
But it effed up their DNA and almost wiped out their. Then they had to
Yeah,
go back.
they wanted to augment strength and
Yeah.
abilities, but it was killing them. And then they thought Phlox was making a thing so they can get the ability strike. No, he was just getting rid of the super strength and just trying to save them. from
Yeah.
dying. So he lied to him, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
At that point, he saved the race, but then they all look humanoid at that point.
Yeah, that's why when you see the original series, it's just the guys with mustaches. It's like regular dudes. But they took the time to explain it because they know the fans
They
care.
solved it.
They have yet to do that here.
Nope.
And so now they're saying that they've been on planets for probably because it takes a millennia, right?
Yeah, they would never. Yeah, they didn't. They weren't. They were expanding, but they didn't have technology that long. I would say they probably got warp drive in our 17th century, 16th century. So that wouldn't be millions of years. That wouldn't be thousands of years. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. This guy can shoot himself out of a cannon.
Yeah, like even he continues on. If you really think about season 1 and the Klingon storyline, it had this incredible ritualistic season with them. He said it's really about unification, igniting the beacon, the light of Kahless, and bringing him back. So we're integrated that very much and thought a lot about that. Here's the thing: the Klingon storyline in season 1 was pretty crappy. A lot of stuff happened that didn't make sense. Check out our reviews. Like, they just sat around at the Battle of the Binary Stars and didn't do anything?
I'll say this right now, and I said this in one of our old reviews. They made Klingons boring. How they did it, I don't know. They made them boring. They just did. Remember when they went on to the, I think, was it the Sinjo, if I'm not mistaken, the first ship, to get that warp thing, and they're just talking? I don't want to hear this. I don't care what they're talking about. This is annoying me.
We want Klingons to fight, okay?
Yeah.
We want to talk.
See here, and he brings up a thing about how in past Trek canon, Kahless cut off his hair and put it into the volcano, and that's the first bat'leth. And then like he's using that as the reason why all the Klingons are bald because they all cut their hair.
No, that's stupid. That's ancient lore, guy. You're an idiot.
Shut the hell up.
That's stupid.
God, these people. I read one little factoid. I thought, well, I'm going to make them all look like idiots from here on out because of some.
Yeah, because remember in our mythology and all that, you know, when Samson cut his hair, that's
he lost his strength.
His strength, yeah.
So that's the whole thing. So he did that for the Forge of the first battle.
Yeah.
Then everyone else, it was assigned as like a lion's mane. It's like a thing you have.
And actually, the Herc stole the Kahless' bat'leth.
Yeah.
And Worf ends up finding it, and they end up having a battle between him and what's his name? Oh gosh!
I have to admit that legend sounds pretty bad, though.
There's so much cool stuff.
It's funny when you find them when the Klingons used to fight each other on a planet. It would be like, oh, this isn't Kung Chi. Sounds like Chinese, almost ancient, battles. It's so
very
cool.
very Shogun.
Yeah,
like there was warlords, and then there was never really one.
I'd like to see this show actually. Now I think about
the original Klingons.
The original Klingons in the past. That'd have been cool.
But not these nasty looking orc people. But
No.
you look at Worf, you think, oh, there's probably this illustrious history.
Yeah.
Look at these nasty looking monsters.
Yeah.
You don't see it cool.
I see the third DLC pack for Destiny. That's what they look like.
Yeah,
they don't
true.
look.
Yeah, they're the what you call it, the hive people mixed with a little bit of some other race.
Gosh.
But no, they're changing the look again. Even if they make them look like what they did Next Generation and forward, it's still stupid because you shouldn't have changed it in the first place.
No.
I don't know. More trouble in Trek.
I'm hoping they do it though. At this point, you made a mistake. Let's fix the mistake.
And we never speak of it again.
Yeah, I know, right? And then also, what was up with having the coffins on the ships? They never did that.
Yeah, they put the dead bodies around the ships. It's like they made up all this stupid lore that wasn't there.
No, that's so stupid.
Yeah,
and it's not really efficient too for shielding either.
Yeah, it is. You haven't heard of the ancient mummy defense wall?
Yeah, it mummifies it from the shields. There you go. Yeah, okay. We'll just pull that out for butts, right?
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. There's so much silliness.
I'm just hoping with Pike being on the show, it can steer the ship. I'm just hoping he is, because he looked like Pike. He felt like Pike to me.
He came on, he took charge in that trailer, and he looked like a real captain.
Yeah, let's just hope that it is, and he's not really an evil twin.
He's an evil twin. It's Lorca! Ah!
All over again.
Pulls the mask off.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.